If you can fix that, then I'll kiss you right here in front of everyone. CEO Olivia Quinn's mocking words rang out, making the entire parking garage explode with laughter. Her sleek black sedan had died right at the gate. VIP clients would arrive in just 1 hour. The technical team scrambled around, sweating profusely but achieving nothing. In the corner of the yard, Caleb Harris, a single dad wearing a faded maintenance uniform, stepped forward, popped the hood, and wiped his hands with a red rag. A few smooth motions, the engine roared to life. The laughter died instantly. Olivia stood frozen, realizing she had just challenged the wrong person. The parking garage was complete chaos, filled with the sound of blaring car horns from vehicles stuck behind them. Olivia Quinn, 32 years old, stood tall in her perfectly tailored charcoal business suit, her angular face etched with stress lines, gripping the leather steering wheel so tightly her knuckles had turned completely white. The technical team swarmed around her luxury sedan like confused ants, plugging in diagnostic laptops, frantically twisting screwdrivers, attempting to restart the stubborn engine over and over again. One technician muttered under his breath, "It's definitely the power management chip. Completely fried. This thing won't start no matter what we try." Olivia's sharp voice cut through the chaotic noise like a blade. Her chestnut brown hair pulled back in an impossibly tight professional bun, swaying slightly as she turned with sudden, sharp movements. This absolutely isn't the first time this has happened. Where are all our supposed protocols and procedures? From the far corner of the underground garage, Caleb Harris, 37 years old, lean and weathered in his faded gray maintenance uniform, his hands rough and deeply calloused from years of honest mechanical work, was quietly pushing a squeaky tool cart across the concrete floor. He stopped abruptly, his warm, dark brown eyes lighting up with recognition as he heard the engine's distinctive, telltale choking sound. Without hesitation, Caleb stepped forward with confidence. "Let me give it a try." The gathered staff immediately burst into cruel laughter. "He literally just mops floors and empties trash cans," one called out mockingly. Another chimed in, "A single dad on a basic contract thinks he can fix expensive luxury cars." Olivia crossed her arms defensively, her piercing gaze turning ice cold as she dismissed him with obvious disdain. "You don't need to get yourself involved in this situation. Just go back to whatever work you're supposed to be doing." Caleb looked up at her directly, his voice remaining remarkably calm and completely steady, despite the mockery. "What would happen if I actually could fix it?" More harsh laughter erupted from the crowd of onlookers. Olivia, feeling both deeply embarrassed and increasingly irritated by the entire situation, spoke with cutting, bitter sarcasm. "If you can somehow fix this complicated problem in exactly 10 minutes, I'll kiss you right here in front of everyone." The crowd absolutely roared with laughter and amusement. Someone immediately started a countdown timer on their smartphone, holding it up for everyone to see. Caleb said absolutely nothing more in response. He calmly pulled off his worn work gloves, grabbed his familiar red cleaning rag from his back pocket, and leaned confidently into the open hood. His experienced ears listened carefully to the engine sounds. His nose immediately caught the distinct burnt electrical smell, and his skilled fingers quickly located the problematic loose vacuum hose clamp. One precise twist with his needle-nose pliers, followed by one careful wipe of the fouled spark plug. The engine suddenly purred to life with a satisfying rumble. The powerful sound echoed impressively throughout the entire concrete garage, completely drowning out every single mocking laugh. Olivia stood completely stunned and motionless, her lips pressed tightly together, her spine rigid with shock and embarrassment. She had just foolishly challenged exactly the wrong person, a single father whom everyone consistently looked down upon and dismissed. Caleb quietly and methodically put away his trusty red rag without any fanfare or celebration. His phone gently buzzed with an incoming message. Emma, his precious 9-year-old daughter with beautiful light brown curls, had texted sweetly, "Did you remember to eat breakfast this morning, Daddy?" He smiled softly to himself and quickly sent back a simple bread emoji in response. The company cafeteria was absolutely buzzing with excitement and gossip that afternoon. The infamous Kiss Boss meme had spread through social media like wildfire, becoming an instant viral sensation. The video clip showing Olivia's public mockery followed immediately by the engine miraculously starting after exactly 9 minutes had been shared thousands of times across multiple platforms. Employees throughout the building kept jokingly asking each other, "So, did you actually kiss the boss yet?" Olivia walked past the crowded cafeteria tables with determined strides, carefully maintaining her trademark icy professional composure, but deep inside she was absolutely drowning in waves of genuine shame and regret. She made her way down to the maintenance bay located in the building's basement level. The industrial space was filled with the familiar, heavy smell of motor oil and mechanical grease, while an old, crackling radio played nostalgic 90s music in the background. Caleb sat peacefully on a worn metal stool, methodically cleaning individual bolts with a wire brush until they gleamed like polished silver, his rough, calloused hands moving with incredibly precise and methodical care. Olivia was the first to break the uncomfortable silence between them. "I behaved absolutely terribly this morning, and I know it." Caleb looked up from his work and replied thoughtfully, "You were genuinely frustrated with the car and the situation, not specifically with me as a person." Olivia reached into her expensive leather purse and handed him a spare key to her sedan, her voice more vulnerable than usual as she asked him to thoroughly check everything mechanical. "I desperately need a comprehensive, long-term solution to prevent this from happening again." Caleb nodded understanding and began writing detailed notes on a piece of oil-stained scrap paper. "Replace the heat-resistant vacuum hose completely. Install high-quality stainless steel clamps. Change the fuel filter. And replace all spark plugs with premium ones." For the first time in recent memory, Olivia sat down on a sturdy metal toolbox, actually lowering herself from her usual perfectly straight-backed, authoritative posture. Caleb noticed her gesture and poured exactly half a cup of lukewarm coffee from his dented silver thermos. She initially wrinkled her face at the bitter taste, then suddenly laughed with genuine amusement, a real, unguarded sound. Caleb began sharing pieces of his personal story. He used to work as a professional mechanic at a busy auto shop, but quit that career path entirely after his beloved wife tragically died from cancer 3 years ago. He deliberately took lower-paying contract work specifically so he could maintain flexible hours to pick up Emma from elementary school every single day. During quiet evenings at home, he patiently folded hundreds of colorful paper cranes by hand, simply to watch his daughter's face light up with pure joy. Olivia found herself sharing her own carefully guarded history, a lonely boarding school childhood where emotional distance was encouraged, where she systematically learned to be so incredibly strong and self-reliant that she gradually lost the ability to hear or trust her own heart's genuine desires and needs. A young technician happened to walk past the open bay door, noticed the powerful CEO sitting casually among the oil stains and mechanical grease, and stammered out a confused, awkward greeting. Olivia responded with a gentle, understanding nod rather than her typical cold dismissal. The traditional boss-worker boundary that had always existed was slowly but noticeably shrinking. Before finally leaving the maintenance bay, Olivia released a long, thoughtful sigh. "I promise I'll work on fixing the way I speak to people, too." Caleb nodded slightly with approval and wisdom. When you fix something the right way, using proper techniques, it actually lasts for years. The next morning brought unexpected consequences. Leaked security camera footage had spread rapidly throughout the entire company via email and social media platforms. Bright yellow Kiss Beige stickers had mysteriously appeared on desks, coffee machines, and bathroom mirrors throughout every floor of the building. This time, however, the cruel mockery and jokes were being aimed directly at the CEO herself rather than the maintenance worker. Mara from the Public Relations Department urgently suggested issuing an official corporate statement about inappropriate workplace humor that crosses professional boundaries. Victor, the stern chief financial officer, pressed even harder during the emergency meeting. "We need to immediately fire Caleb Harris to completely put out this embarrassing public relations fire before it gets worse." HR manager Martin officially called Caleb upstairs to the executive conference room for a formal disciplinary meeting. "You deliberately interfered with executive equipment without any proper authorization or permission." Caleb remained completely calm and composed throughout the intimidating confrontation. If I'm required to leave this position, I respectfully ask only one simple thing. Please replace all the vehicle clamps in the company fleet with stainless steel ones. Don't allow anyone to start their engine when their family depends on them with cheap, unreliable clamps that could fail. Meanwhile, Olivia sat in her corner office reviewing the carefully edited video that the PR department was frantically preparing to release to the media. Seeing her own mocking, cruel laugh frozen in high definition on the computer screen made her feel absolutely disgusted with her own behavior and character. Without hesitation, Olivia immediately hung up on Victor during his angry phone call and walked directly down to the maintenance garage with determined purpose. She found Caleb patiently teaching a nervous intern exactly how to properly change a fuel filter, using an ingenious homemade demonstration model he had constructed from spare parts. Standing confidently in front of the entire assembled maintenance team, Olivia spoke with absolute clarity and conviction, refusing to beat around the bush or make corporate excuses. That morning, I deliberately and publicly disrespected a valued colleague who deserved much better treatment. I was completely wrong, and I take full responsibility. From this moment forward, anyone who successfully fixes a problem will receive proper credit and recognition. Anyone who mocks or belittles others will receive an official warning. And starting this week, every single vehicle in our company fleet will be upgraded with stainless steel clamps. A moment of complete dead silence filled the garage. Then the familiar sound of metal wrenches clanking against concrete echoed through the space. One person started clapping slowly. Within seconds, the entire garage erupted in genuine applause. Victor immediately sent a scathing email. "You're recklessly risking your professional image and corporate reputation." Olivia typed back without hesitation. "I'm systematically fixing the root cause of our problems, not just wiping the surface clean." That same evening, Olivia made an unexpected visit to Caleb's modest apartment in a quiet residential neighborhood. Emma squealed with absolute delight when she saw the box of shiny stainless steel clamps that Olivia had thoughtfully brought as a gift. The enthusiastic little girl carefully selected her favorite paper crane from her collection and presented it to Olivia with ceremony. "This is for good luck and protection." Olivia gently placed the delicate paper crane directly next to a faded, torn circus ticket that she had kept in her leather wallet for over 20 years. Something beautifully soft and innocent positioned right beside the intimidating black corporate credit card that represented her immense power. A completely new order of priorities was slowly emerging. Over the following weeks, Olivia implemented a revolutionary 10-minute listening rule for every emergency situation that arose in the company. Colorful motivational posters appeared throughout the machine room with inspirational messages. Listening carefully is also a crucial procedure. Caleb signed an official long-term employment contract with significantly better benefits and job security. Using his years of practical experience, he wrote a comprehensive maintenance manual for non-specialists, featuring charming hand-drawn illustrations that Emma had enthusiastically colored with bright crayons during their evening time together. The PR department made a bold decision to release a fix-first promotional video that completely contradicted traditional corporate marketing. Long, unedited takes with no background music, featuring only the authentic sounds of metal wrenches working and engines starting successfully. The video unexpectedly went viral across multiple platforms, specifically because of its raw, unfiltered authenticity. Olivia dramatically reduced the number of mandatory meetings and strategically added a 15-minute silence block before any major corporate decisions were finalized. Surprisingly, overall company productivity increased significantly and measurably. During peaceful afternoon breaks, Olivia began bringing homemade egg sandwiches with slightly burnt edges down to the maintenance garage. Caleb would taste them thoughtfully and assign grades with an encouraging smile. Emma served as the official judge, taking her responsibility very seriously. One day, Emma asked with innocent curiosity, "Do you have a circus ticket?" Olivia replied honestly, "Yes, but unfortunately it's torn exactly in half." Without hesitation, Emma carefully taped the pieces back together using bright orange tape. Now it's completely whole again. During one particularly stormy night, the building's fuel tank pressure alarm began blaring loudly throughout the facility. Olivia held a powerful flashlight steady and read the technical checklist aloud clearly. Caleb crawled into the cramped compartment and carefully tightened each connection to the precise torque specification. The satisfying metallic click echoed through the sound of heavy rain. They looked directly at each other with mutual respect, no words necessary to communicate their shared understanding. The company's overall culture began shifting in tone and atmosphere. The silly, juvenile kiss boss jokes gradually faded away and were forgotten. Instead, employees proudly posted photos of their newly installed stainless steel clamps on social media, consistently tagging Caleb to show their appreciation. The meaningful fix first motto naturally became an ingrained habit throughout all departments. The transformation wasn't just professional, it was deeply personal. Olivia found herself looking forward to her daily visits to the maintenance bay, where the atmosphere was refreshingly honest and straightforward compared to the political maneuvering of executive meetings. Caleb appreciated having someone who genuinely listened to his technical expertise rather than dismissing it due to his job title. Emma became the unofficial bridge between their two worlds, asking Olivia about her childhood and sharing stories about school with the same innocent openness. The little girl's drawings began featuring 3 figures instead of 2. My team, Dad, Emma, Olivia. Victor continued sending increasingly frustrated emails about maintaining professional boundaries and inappropriate fraternization. But Olivia found that his complaints carried less weight when she could see the concrete improvements in workplace morale and mechanical reliability. The other executives noticed that equipment downtime had decreased dramatically since Caleb's suggestions were implemented company-wide. The maintenance team, initially skeptical of their CEO's sudden interest in their work, gradually warmed to her genuine efforts to understand their daily challenges. They began approaching her directly with suggestions for operational improvements, something that had never happened in the company's history. More importantly, Olivia discovered that the skills required for effective leadership, listening, problem-solving, taking responsibility for mistakes, weren't so different from the skills required for mechanical repair. Both required patience, attention to detail, and the willingness to get your hands dirty when necessary. The viral video had an unexpected side effect. Other companies began reaching out to learn about their revolutionary workplace culture. Olivia realized that their simple story of mutual respect and authentic apology had resonated with people far beyond their industry. Late at night, when the building was quiet and empty, Olivia sometimes found herself in the maintenance bay, not because anything needed fixing, but because it had become a place where she could think clearly without the constant pressure of corporate expectations. The smell of honest work and the sight of well-organized tools reminded her that some of the most important problems could be solved with practical knowledge and genuine care. As winter melted into spring, the changes at the company became more profound and widespread. Olivia's 10-minute listening rule had evolved into a comprehensive communication protocol that was being studied by business schools. The colorful posters throughout the facility now included employee suggestions. Fix the problem, not the blame, and every voice has value. Caleb's maintenance manual had grown into a full training program. New employees, regardless of their department, spent their first week learning basic troubleshooting skills. The philosophy was simple. Everyone should understand how things work, not just how to use them. Emma's illustrations had become so popular that the company started selling copies, with proceeds going to a local children's charity. The Fix First video had spawned an entire series. Each month, they featured a different employee solving a real workplace problem, always with the same authentic, unscripted approach. The videos consistently went viral, and the company's reputation had transformed from corporate coldness to genuine authenticity. Olivia's management style had fundamentally changed. Instead of issuing orders from her executive office, she instituted walking rounds where she spent time in every department. She learned the names of janitors, security guards, and cafeteria workers. More importantly, she remembered details about their lives: Emma's school play, the security guard's night classes, the accountant's mother's surgery. The afternoon sandwich tradition had evolved into something larger. Caleb had set up a small outdoor area behind the maintenance bay with picnic tables made from repurposed materials. Employees from all departments began joining them for lunch, creating an informal but powerful network of communication across the company. Emma had become something of a celebrity within the building. Her paper cranes appeared on desks throughout all floors, each one carrying a small message of encouragement. She had started an after-school program in the maintenance bay, teaching origami to other employees' children while their parents finished work. The bay had transformed into an unexpected community center. Victor's resistance had gradually crumbled as quarterly profits reached record highs. The decreased equipment downtime, improved employee retention, and positive media coverage had created measurable financial benefits. During one board meeting, he grudgingly admitted, "Whatever you're doing, it's working." Mara from PR had embraced the new direction enthusiastically. She worked closely with Caleb to document the technical improvements and with Emma to create child-friendly safety materials. The company's social media presence had exploded, but in an entirely authentic way that resonated with audiences worldwide. One memorable evening, during a severe thunderstorm that caused power outages throughout the city, the building's backup generator failed. While other companies sent employees home, Olivia, Caleb, and volunteers from multiple departments worked through the night to restore essential systems. Emma slept on a makeshift bed in the break room while her father worked, and woke up to find Olivia reading her a story by flashlight. The incident became legendary within the company culture. Photos of the CEO reading bedtime stories during a crisis, of executives and maintenance workers collaborating as equals, of Emma handing out paper cranes to tired employees. These images captured something that couldn't be manufactured by PR departments. The stainless steel clamp initiative had saved the company thousands of dollars in vehicle repairs and had prevented several potentially dangerous breakdowns. More importantly, it had become a symbol of the principle that small, preventive actions could solve big problems before they occurred. Caleb's technical expertise was now formally recognized. He had been promoted to facilities manager, but he insisted on keeping his hands-on role. His office was still in the maintenance bay, and he still wore his gray uniform. The title change came with a significant salary increase, allowing him to move Emma to a better school district while staying in the same apartment they loved. The company's recruitment had changed dramatically. They now attracted candidates who valued authentic leadership and collaborative culture over traditional corporate hierarchies. Exit interviews revealed that employees felt more valued, more heard, and more connected to their work than ever before. Emma's influence extended beyond paper cranes and illustrations. Her innocent questions during lunch conversations often led to breakthrough insights. When she asked why people worked in buildings with no windows, it prompted a renovation that added skylights and improved ventilation. Her suggestion that work should be fun sometimes led to monthly celebration events that became highly anticipated traditions. The torn circus ticket, now carefully mended with orange tape, had become Olivia's talisman. She kept it visible on her desk as a reminder that broken things could be made whole, that what seemed permanently damaged could be lovingly repaired. Late one Friday afternoon, as spring sunshine streamed through the newly installed skylights, Olivia realized that she no longer dreaded Monday mornings. The building hummed with productive energy, genuine laughter echoed through hallways, and she had found something she hadn't even known she was looking for, a sense of belonging. The transformation wasn't just about workplace culture, it was about human connection. In trying to fix her relationship with one employee, Olivia had accidentally fixed something much larger, the soul of an entire organization. Friday morning arrived with the same golden sunlight that had witnessed their first encounter, but everything else had fundamentally changed. Olivia walked through the parking garage carrying 2 baseball caps embroidered with "Listen First," one size for an adult, one perfectly fitted for a 9-year-old girl. She found Caleb and Emma in their usual spot, the maintenance bay that had become the unofficial heart of the entire company. The space looked different now, cleaner, more organized, but still authentically functional. Motivational posters shared wall space with Emma's colorful drawings and photos of successful repairs. The old radio still played music, but now it competed with the sound of friendly conversations from employees who regularly stopped by. Olivia spoke directly, her voice carrying none of the corporate formality that had once defined her every interaction. "If you two are willing to have me, I want to stay, not just as your boss, not just to fix cars, but as part of whatever this has become." Caleb looked around thoughtfully at his neatly organized tools, at the mint plant Emma had insisted on growing in a coffee can on the windowsill, At his daughter carefully labeling boxes of bolts with her careful handwriting. The red cleaning rag that had started everything sat folded precisely on his workbench. He met Olivia's eyes and nodded with genuine warmth. Welcome to the family. At lunchtime, their party of 3 had grown to include a rotating cast of employees who had discovered that the maintenance bay offered something missing from the corporate cafeteria: authentic conversation. They sat around the repurposed picnic tables, eating sandwiches that ranged from Emma's perfectly crafted creations to Caleb's deliberately burnt experiments to Olivia's improving but still amateur attempts. The old radio played 70s classics while conversations flowed naturally from technical discussions to personal stories to Emma's latest school adventures. Olivia had learned to turn off her phone notifications during these lunches, placing the device face down on the table as a symbol of her commitment to being present. Caleb poured coffee from his dented but reliable silver thermos. Still lukewarm, still slightly bitter, but somehow perfect for the setting. Olivia had developed a taste for it, associating the flavor with moments of genuine connection rather than polished corporate meetings. Emma had become the unofficial curator of their shared history. The orange-taped circus ticket now hung on the bulletin board next to photos of company events, technical diagrams, and her growing collection of paper cranes. Her latest artistic creation dominated the wall, a crayon drawing labeled My Team, featuring 3 figures holding hands. Dad in his gray uniform, Emma with her characteristic curls, and Olivia in her business suit but with a genuine smile. The drawing had been photographed and shared so widely on social media that it had become the company's unofficial logo, appearing on everything from business cards to the corporate website. Marketing departments at other companies tried to recreate the authenticity, but you couldn't manufacture what had grown organically from genuine relationships. As the afternoon sun streamed through the skylights they had installed based on Emma's suggestion, Olivia reflected on how completely her definition of success had changed. The quarterly reports still mattered, the board meetings still happened, the corporate responsibility still existed, but they no longer defined her entire existence. Sunday morning found all 3 of them in Caleb's small kitchen, sharing breakfast while Emma worked on homework and Caleb reviewed maintenance schedules. Olivia sat at the worn table, drinking coffee that was actually hot for once, helping Emma with math problems while Caleb planned the week's repairs. Outside the window, the company sedan sat in the driveway, engine purring smoothly after its morning warm-up. But the real repair, the one that mattered most, had happened inside the building, in the hearts of people who had learned that authentic connection could fix things that seemed permanently broken. The final frame of their story showed 3 coffee cups on a kitchen table, morning light streaming through clean windows, and the sound of genuine laughter filling a space where family had been found in the most unexpected way. If you believe that a sincere apology and a properly tightened clamp can fix both a car and a heart, please leave a comment and share your own story of unexpected connections. Don't forget to subscribe to Hidden Heart Stories, because the best repairs happen to the things you can't see.